Tonight you might sleep somewhere new, a hotel room, a friend's couch, a bed that isn't yours. The room is quiet. The mattress is fine. You are exhausted in a way that should have knocked you out hours ago, and yet you lie there, staring at an unfamiliar ceiling, wide awake. You blame the pillow. You blame the coffee. But the real answer is far stranger. You are not failing to sleep. You are being guarded. Half your brain has volunteered for the night shift, and it will not stand down just because you are tired. Sleep scientists have known this for 60 years. In the 1960s, Harmon Agnew, Wills Webb, and Robert Williams kept hitting the same problem. Every volunteer's first night in the lab produced broken, shallow, unusable sleep. By night 2, everything looked normal. So they named it the first night effect. Then they did something telling. They threw the first night away. For decades, sleep labs simply deleted it. An entire field decided your first night in a new place was too strange to measure. But what if the discarded night was the interesting one? At Brown University, Masako Tamaki, Yuka Sasaki, and Takeo Watanabe finally looked directly at it. Instead of measuring the brain as one object, they measured each hemisphere separately. And the two halves were not doing the same thing. The right hemisphere sank into deep, restorative sleep. The left hemisphere stayed shallow, faster waves, lighter, alert. It was sleeping the way a soldier sleeps in a foxhole. Then they played sounds, gentle, identical beeps. Nothing happened. Then they slipped in a beep that was slightly wrong. The left hemisphere reacted, sharply. And when that odd sound was fed into the ear wired to it, the sleeper was far more likely to wake. Half the brain asleep, the other half listening for something wrong. On the second night, the asymmetry vanished. The guard had stood down. So what is being guarded? To understand that, stop thinking about hotel rooms and think about ducks. In 1999, Niels Rattenborg lined up 4 mallard ducks in a row and let them sleep. The 2 in the middle, surrounded on both sides, slept normally. The ducks at the ends did something else. They slept with one eye open, the outward-facing eye, the one pointed at the exposed edge of the world, and the half of the brain wired to that eye stayed awake while the other half slept. Turn the duck around, and it switches eyes. Every time. The duck is not choosing this. Its brain is simply doing the arithmetic of survival while it sleeps. Dolphins do it. Migrating birds do it in midair. And you never fully gave it up. Not a clean split like a duck, just an echo, a lean toward vigilance in one hemisphere while the other rests. You are not a duck, but you are still sleeping with one eye open. Why would a brain that needs rest sabotage its own sleep? Think about what a new place meant for almost all of human history. No front desk, no deadbolt. A new place was a landscape you had not surveyed, with sounds you had not learned, and predators whose habits you did not know. The old campsite was safe because it had been tested. The new one had no model. And unknown places kill sleeping mammals. So evolution made a trade. A little less recovery, a little more survival. Repeated across 100,000 generations, it wrote itself into your skull. It is still there, waiting for a ceiling it doesn't recognize. David Sampson and Charles Nunn tracked the Hadza, who sleep in groups under an open sky. Across 200 hours, they searched for one moment when everyone was asleep at once. They found 18 minutes. Nobody was assigned a shift. It happened because people vary. Night owls, early risers, restless sleepers. Spread that across a group, and at almost any hour, somebody is awake. Your grandmother waking at 4. Your friend who can't sleep before 2. You staring at the dark at 3 in the morning. Those aren't malfunctions, they're coverage. Now look again at the hotel room. The door is locked. There is a fire alarm, a camera, a person at the front desk. There is no predator within 400 miles. Your brain does not care. It isn't measuring danger. It's measuring familiarity. It asks one question, older than doors, older than language. Have I slept here before and survived? If the answer is no, the sentry clocks in. It listens all night to an unfamiliar air conditioner for the one sound that doesn't belong. That sound never comes. But a sentry doesn't stand down on probability. It stands down on evidence, which is why the second night is always better. One night passed, and nothing killed you. The model updates, both hemispheres finally go under. You wake up and assume you got used to the pillow. You didn't. You passed the test. So tonight, if you find yourself somewhere new, staring at an unfamiliar ceiling in the dark, know what is actually happening. You are not failing to sleep. You are being guarded.